of the Month recognition ceremony. We're so very excited to be here, and as I look around with all of our community partners and sponsors and command staff and fellow San Francisco police officers, we're so very grateful to have this ceremony right here on the mayor's balcony at City Hall. Now today is a very special occasion as we recognize the great work that our San Francisco police officers do, and it would not be possible had it not been for our supporters and sponsors. So I really want to just start by thanking our sponsors that made today possible, starting with BXP, in particular Bob Peaster, Steve Colvin, Rod Dale, Greg Sir, our retired former chief, and retired Deputy Chief John Loftus. I would also like to thank the Hyatt Regency of San Francisco, the Parks Hotel Group, the Hilton Hotel, the Hearst Corporation, Paganini Electric, GCI Construction, JP Morgan Chase, McCall's Catering Events, and the San Francisco Police Officers Association. We also have a variety of supporters that are here. I know Chris Larson is here. Thank you, Chris. Prologis, BOMA, the Hotel Council, the Union Square Alliance, the Neighbors for a Better San Francisco, and as mentioned, the POA. Now, I would like to start off with two people to thank. First, the Mayor of San Francisco, Mayor Breed. I want to thank you for all the support that you provide the San Francisco Police Department. It doesn't go unnoticed that wherever you go in the city, you talk about the police officers, how important our job is, and how much support you provide us. So we're very thankful. And we know that this would not happen here, and it would not happen at all without you, Mayor Breed. So thank you. If I could have a round of applause for our mayor. Thank you very much, Mayor Breed. And I also would like to thank our chief, Chief William Scott, who is our leader and who supports his officers and his command staff through all the challenges that we have right now and all the things we're dealing with in our city. Chief Scott is at the forefront of everything going on, supporting all of his people, and today is just another example of the support that we have by our chief. All right, so as we go ahead and start this, I'd like to also recognize some other people. First, the president of our Board of Supervisors, Aaron Peskin, is here today. Thank you, President Peskin. I would like to thank our commissioners that are here, Commissioner Walker and Commissioner Benedicto. Thank you very much for your support today. I would like to thank our command staff for being here. I know everybody's super busy, but we all realize this is the most important thing we can do all day is to come here and support our officers. And I want to thank the captains that are here as well. And thank you to the community that are here. So thank you for this wonderful ceremony that we're about to have. So today we are going to honor some police officers, and it's really challenging to make selections because our officers do great work every day. I can almost guarantee there's a police officer right now in San Francisco doing some spectacular work, whether they're apprehending a burglar or they're catching a retail theft suspect. That happens every day in our city. So to make the selections are really, really challenging. But today I am confident that we have made the right selections on this group of officers that I see sitting in the front row that you'll hear about shortly from your captains about whether they pursued suspects that were armed, whether they apprehended an auto burglar, or whether they grabbed a large-scale retail theft suspect. They all did great work, and you're about to hear all about it momentarily. All right, so with that, without further ado, I would like to call up our mayor of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed, to say a few words, just to kick us off. Thank you, Mayor Breed.
Thank you, Chief Lazar, and thank you to all the officers, the families, the friends, and the folks who are here today. This is the third time that we've hosted this ceremony, and the person who gave me the idea to do this not only came from our current chief, Bill Scott, but also our former chief, Greg Sir, who's joining us here today from BXP. So thank you so much, Chief Sir. We're glad to have you. You know, San Francisco has been experiencing a very challenging time and has been receiving a lot of criticism. But what we know that happens every single day, day in and day out, despite what is happening in the political world or in other parts of San Francisco, every day our police officers are working in various stations across San Francisco, putting their lives on the line to ensure the public is safe. And some of these examples that you're going to hear about today are examples, they may seem as though they're above and beyond the call of duty, which in many cases they are, but this is what our officers are out in the streets doing every day and not always getting the support and the credit that they need. We have seen a bit of a change, a bit of a shift in how the city and county of San Francisco, its residents, and even its political leaders have really uplifted and supported the department in ways that we have not done in the past. In fact, we're working on some of those ways to make changes to policies to ensure that we are not just focused on making changes to the policies, especially political leaders like me or members of the commission who may not understand what it means to be out there on the streets, what it means to put your life on the line, to deal with life or death situations, but these officers do. And despite the challenges and sometimes the confusion in our general orders, they still step up every single day, and we appreciate that. We appreciate your service, we appreciate your work, and we appreciate the fact that today, as we honor their work, so many companies in San Francisco, so many leaders in our philanthropic world have decided to step up and to really be advocates for the police department. Whether it's the commercials that really talk about the various stories of some of our officers, thanks to Chris Larson and Avenue Greenlight and the work that they've been doing to really elevate the actual individuals who are the frontline officers of this department, the stories that they tell, why people have decided they want to be a part of this department. Or whether it's, again, some of the changes to policies and the things that we're trying to do here for increases in salary, recruitment bonuses, and changes to general orders. We know all of this work goes hand in hand in restoring morale in the department and making sure that you know the leader of this city and leaders of this city support the work that you do so that you can continue to roll up your sleeves and get the job done. And despite so many of the challenges that continue to persist in San Francisco, the department has been doing some amazing work that we are finally starting to hear about. Some of the various retail theft operations that have occurred based on a grant we received from the state, those arrests have been phenomenal. We have seen our bait car operations yield some extraordinary results. We are seeing the numbers finally start to decline, and people are getting the message that you cannot come to San Francisco and expect to get away with crime. Yes, we will help you and we will support you and we will give you a second chance, but no, you will not get away with it once you cross those lines. That's what our officers are demonstrating with their actions every single day, and it's why we have to take a moment to pause and to reflect on this extraordinary work. Because you don't always hear about these stories. You don't always hear that San Francisco has one of the lowest homicides rates that we've had in decades, and our clearance rate for those homicides are extremely high in comparison to other major cities across this country. You hear about the crime and you see the videos, but you don't always hear about the results that our officers, including the ones we're honoring here today, they bring the results day in and day out with their investigations, with their diligent work, and with the arrests that they make in order to make sure accountability is at the forefront of everything we do here in San Francisco. So today, we say thank you. We recognize your stories and we elevate those stories so that people understand how valuable it is to have folks like you out on the streets. We thank your families and your friends, your community of people who are here, because we also know that, you know, it's part of, it's not just you doing the job, but it's also them who live with you day in and day out and keeping you in their prayers to ensure that when you're going out there, that you're also coming home safe. So we appreciate you, we appreciate the work you do, and today is just really a small token of appreciation for all you have done and will continue to do to serve and protect the people of the city and county of San Francisco. So thank you so much for your service.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor Breed. I'd now like to call up the President of the Board of Supervisors, President Peskin.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Lazar, Mayor Breed. To the honorees this afternoon, let me say, Chief Scott, that we are seeing the results on the ground. I like to say that the 11 supervisorial districts are all created equal, but the northeast corner of the city that includes Chinatown, Fisherman's Wharf, North Beach, Nob Hill, Russian Hill, the Crooked Street, is more equal. Why do I say that? It is because it is ground zero for tourists from all over the country and all over the world. And in the Central District, now under the capable command of Eric Kim, thank you, Captain, for being here. I can tell you as somebody who walks the streets every day, we are actually seeing the results, Officer Montague. People are coming up and saying that things are getting better. And that is a direct result of the work that each and every one of you do every day for going above and beyond the call of duty every day. I want you to know that this supervisor and the Board of Supervisors sees it, we appreciate it, we want to support it, and we will continue to do so to increase the quality of life for our residents and for our visitors. To the honorees today, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for going above and beyond the call of duty.
Thank you, President Peskin. I would now like to call up our Chief of Police, Bill Scott.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not going to be long-winded here, but let me just start out by saying thank you to so many people who made this happen. I know the mayor acknowledged Chief Sir. Greg, thank you. You know, folks like us, as we go higher in organizations, we live through the work of the police officers. And you all probably can't appreciate this, but when I'm at my desk at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I get a text or I read a report with great police work, it actually energizes me. So thank you for that. Thank you for everything you do, and the families. And the mayor mentioned it, but we know how hard the sacrifice is when you have a police officer in your family. The scheduling, the unpredictability, the missing of events and family milestones, and all the things that you have to put up with to allow us to do what we do. So to all the families, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And thank you for allowing these officers to do what they do. Mayor Breed, thank you for everything that you've done. There is a change. I feel it. I hope you all feel it. But there's a change in this city. There's a change in the way people see us. There's a change in the way people appreciate us. And every community that I go in, we can't get enough officers on the beat. That's a good thing. But that's because you're doing the work. If we weren't doing the work, I don't think that change would happen the way it's been happening. So we have support from our mayor, we have support from our elected officials, and then all the village of people that are here to support you. Enjoy it, appreciate it, know that it's real, and hopefully that motivates us to get out and do more, because we have some challenges in this city, and we're gonna have to do even more. So let's get that work done. So to the officers, Officer Brent Montague, again, your work, I just can't say enough about what it means for what you all do. You know, this is difficult work, it's dangerous work, and sometimes I don't think people really get what we do in terms of what it takes to be successful, but you're getting it done. Sergeant Nick Buckley. Nick, Officer Shalane Jackson. You know, chasing down armed suspects, putting your life in danger to make that arrest, to make sure that these folks don't hurt anybody else. I know you don't always get the thanks that you deserve, but you're getting that right now by the way of these awards. And then Officer Dexter Cato and Officer Brian Conway. Retail theft has plagued this city for a very long time. And we make a lot of arrests. Your arrest stood out. And it is just really an example of what can be done when you have what you need by way of support. When you get the support you need, you will do the work. So $15,000 recovered in property, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, because not only did you arrest those folks, when we see these arrests, when your partners see what's going on, it makes them want to go out and do it. Because we know how police work. We're competitive. We're all competitive, and we all want to make that next arrest. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the commanding officers, and you will hear directly from them more details about what these officers did to earn them these great awards. And again, I just want to thank everybody for making this happen. And thank you, Chief Lazar, for your leadership on this.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief Scott. Couple more recognitions I'd like to make. First, Acting Commander Aaron Parra in the Community Engagement Division. They're the ones that work on this full time to get this up and running and to make things happen, so thank you for that. Secondly, I know our POA president was here, Tracy McCrae. Thank you very much, Tracy, for everything from the POA. And then last, to the families. I just want to point that out, that we cannot do this work without our families. And it gives us great joy to see the loved ones that are here supporting us. And I know we come home and tell the stories. There's no way we can get this done without you. And so we're very thankful that you're here today. Round of applause for all our family members that are here. Okay, before I hand it over to Captain Kim, I just want to say that today's officers are going to be recognized, and they are also going to get some awards. And Mayor Breed at the last ceremony reminded me, she said, aren't they supposed to get something? And I completely forgot. But today, Mayor, I didn't forget, so I just want to let everybody know, and thank you, Mayor, for that prompting last time. Today, everyone's going to get a nice plaque, but they're also, thanks to our sponsors, going to get a one-night stay at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Everybody gets a one-night stay, and a $500 check that comes from the San Francisco Police Officers Association Community Services Fund, but is donated by the sponsors that we mentioned today. So congratulations on everything you're about to receive, and thank you to the sponsors. And with that, I'd like to call Captain Eric Kim, Commanding Officer of Central Station, to read the first award.
Thank you, Chief. Officer Montague, can you stand over here, please? Afternoon, everyone. I have the privilege in talking about Officer Brett Montague regarding his hard work and dedication to the city and county of San Francisco. This is just but one case that he's involved with that shows his dedication to the job and to the people of this community. Regarding this case, this was a lengthy auto burglary investigation compiled by Officer Montague of the Central Station Street Crimes Unit, dating all the way back from May of 2022. Officers of the Central Station Street Crimes Unit were conducting an auto burglary operation near Fisherman's Wharf when they saw a gold Lexus in the parking lot. Surveillance was conducted, and a passenger in the car later committed an auto burglary at Front and Green. The gold Lexus was followed to Oakland, where the occupants discarded the stolen bags and were lost in the area. Officer Montague inspected the discarded items and found blood on a luggage tag. Officer Montague submitted the blood to be processed by the crime lab. Approximately 1 month later, Officer Montague received a DNA hit on the blood evidence, which identified a suspect. Based on the officer's surveillance video from the day of the auto burglary, along with the DNA evidence, the officers then positively identified the suspect as the auto burglar. While this investigation was ongoing, Officer Montague kept notes on vehicles seen being used to break into vehicles in the city and realized 2 of those vehicles were registered to the suspect as well. The suspect was later arrested by Oakland police officers for an outstanding warrant arrest. And during that arrest, the suspect fled from OPD and discarded a firearm. Officer Montague contacted OPD and requested that they seize the suspect's phone for further investigation. Using the suspect's cell phone GPS history, Officer Montague was able to match the suspect's location history with the location at which his registered vehicles were seen being used to commit those additional auto burglaries. Through the course of Officer Montague's persistent investigation, he was able to establish probable cause that the suspect committed not just one auto burglary, but 7 auto burglaries for which he was arrested and charged. Officer Montague should be commended for his months-long investigation. Officer Montague showed tenacity, attention to detail, and did not let the fact that the suspect initially got away hinder his overall objective in holding criminals accountable for the breaking the laws. So, congratulations.
Okay.
Thanks, Brett.
Okay, thank you, Captain Kim. I'd now like to call up Commander Eric Ventero from the Golden Gate Division.
Can I have you guys come up here? Okay, it's my honor to introduce Officer Shalane Jackson and Sergeant Nicholas Buckley from Bayview Station. Officer Jackson is a 7-year veteran of the SFPD and has been at Bayview Station for approximately the last 6 years, where she is a full-time field training officer. In fact, last year, Officer Jackson was awarded the Field Training Officer Award for Bayview Station, which is she's voted on by all of her peers, her FTOs, and the supervisors at the station. It's a great job. Sergeant Buckley is a 17-year veteran of the SFPD. He spent the majority of his career on patrol, 9 years at Mission Station as an FTO, and he's been at Bayview Station for the last 5 years as a sergeant, and he runs the entire FTO program at Bayview Station. Now, being an FTO is an extremely demanding and important job, and both of these members are role models when it comes to this area. But what makes these members special and exceptional and stand out is the fact that they have their full-time jobs, but on their days off, they regularly volunteer to work overtime together, pushing a radio car into Bayview District, patrolling hotspots for violence and shootings. This overtime is necessary due to our extreme staffing shortages. So I want to share with you an incident which summarizes the type of work Officer Jackson and Sergeant Buckley do on a regular basis. So on September 18th, 2023, at about 2:30 p.m., Officer Jackson and Sergeant Buckley were working as violence reduction officers in the Bayview District. This is an overtime assignment. As they were patrolling the area of Kiska Road and Dormitory Road, they noticed a white Infiniti sedan and a gray Infiniti sedan speeding recklessly through this quiet residential neighborhood. Officer Jackson ran the license plate of the white Infiniti, and she quickly realized that the car was reported stolen. The officers made a U-turn in an attempt to catch up and locate this vehicle so they could do a traffic stop. The officers located both of the vehicles several blocks away on LaSalle Street after both of the vehicles apparently collided with each other, and all the occupants fled both cars on foot. No other vehicles were involved in the collision. As the officers were rolling up to this collision, they saw the last suspect exiting one of the vehicles and flee the area on foot. The officers gave chase after ordering him to stop, which he did not. Officer Jackson and Sergeant Buckley were able to catch up to the suspect and engaged in a long, extended struggle with an extremely large man who, based on a report, was listed as 5'11", 321 pounds. After successfully detaining the resisting suspect, placing him in handcuffs and under arrest, the officers discovered that he had a loaded semi-automatic handgun in his pants pocket, and he had an additional loaded magazine in the other pocket. In addition, both of the Infiniti vehicles were reported stolen. So for their proactive police work, dedication to duty, and tenacity, Sergeant Nicholas Buckley and Officer Shalane Jackson are the Officers of the Month for Bayview Station. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commander Ventero. I'd now like to call up for our last presentation, Acting Captain John Casper from Tenderloin Station.
Good afternoon. It's my honor to speak of an arrest that Officers Dexter Cato and Officer Brian Conway made on September 20th, 2023 at approximately 5:40 p.m. These officers from Tenderloin Station, I'd just like to mention one thing first. These are two of the go-to officers that we have at Tenderloin Station. We do have many, but I've had to call upon them to stay late or come in early to help out with calls for service and help out with regular patrol duties, and they're very resourceful and easy to work with. Officer Cato and Brian Conway observed a white Kia Soul occupied by 3 people commit several traffic violations, for which they proactively conducted a traffic stop near the intersection of McAllister and Market Street in the Tenderloin District. The officers conducted a thorough investigation during the stop, finding cause to identify all of the occupants of the vehicle. At the same time, Northern Station officers responded to the Lululemon located at 2040 Fillmore Street regarding a significant organized retail theft which had just occurred. The officers there discovered that a large amount of merchandise had been stolen, and they broadcasted the information of the suspects and their vehicle. It also needs to be mentioned that Northern's radio channel is on a completely different channel, and these officers proactively listen to neighboring stations' police radio traffic. Officers Cato and Conway heard this broadcast on the other channel and recognized that the suspect vehicle information which was being broadcasted was the very same as the vehicle which they had stopped. The officers successfully detained all of the occupants and alerted the officers at Northern Station. Witnesses to the theft identified the suspects who were placed under arrest. In addition, with the help of SFPD organized retail theft investigator Sergeant Marino, the suspects were linked to a retail theft at Lululemon location in Walnut Creek. A search of the car revealed that 136 pairs of stolen leggings and other clothing were located as a result of their proactive police work. Also, with their awareness and thorough investigation, Officers Cato and Conway had a large part in the recovery of over $15,000 worth of stolen property. In addition, the suspects were arrested and charged with numerous felonies in both counties. Thank you very much for all your hard work.
Okay, thank you, Acting Captain John Casper. All right, so this concludes our officer recognition ceremony. I have a couple of announcements. First, we'd like to take photos with the honorees today right behind us. I think Martha put together this, usually puts together this nice backdrop. Chief Sir reminded me that the Chronicle is going to have a half-page display either this Sunday or the following Sunday of the recognition. So Mayor Breed and Chief Scott, please join up there for the photo. And then also please enjoy the refreshments that have been laid out and mix and mingle. And thank you very much, Mayor Breed, Chief Scott, Chief Sir, and for everyone being here today. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.